So I have a hair appointment today.
What?
And I'm going back to brown. You can do it. You can say it. I'm going back to I said it. I'm going back to brown.
Okay. No. I'm not gonna do what you want me to do because I'm happy that you came to me with this information. And so it's like, for example, like your kid gets a bad report card, they bring it to you as a parent, and then you're mad at them. Well, next time they get a bad report card, they're not gonna bring it to you. Next time that you come to me with an I was right moment, which I know will happen, I would like you to do so openly and comfortably. And so for that reason, I'm not going to say that I told you so.
It will
I'm
never
gonna
happen
say
again.
I'm happy that you are using your free will.
It will never happen again, folks. Why does it smell like pasta?
I made pasta.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay.
I made ramen.
Oh, no. I was thinking some kind of like gnocchi or something, like actual Italian. Are we recording?
Yeah.
You gotta let me know, girl.
We're recording.
Okay, thank you. It smelled like Italian, not Asian.
It's udon.
What?
Udon.
Oh, just repeating it doesn't mean I'm gonna know what it magically is.
Udon is a noodle.
Mm-hmm. That's it. You just
That's what I
sucking down
made.
noodles.
Oh, I made sauce for it.
That's where we're going to. Yeah.
I made it into a soup. It was really good.
Okay.
I made some last night for the first time, and it was really good, so I made more this morning.
Your life is a wow factor. I'm very proud of you. I'm kind of
What's your news?
Oh, shalom, shalom. Welcome back to my aunt's attic. So we have news as far as I have. Well, it's for you because you have to know these things too. It's the time, folks. Because we only have one active listener. I hope you're a woman because if not, this is going to be awkward for you.
Oh, God.
Day 3 of
You have to fill people in. They don't know what you're talking about.
For our one listener who is always with us, I think they do know what I'm talking about. But last episode, I talked about the fact that I was going to switch things up a little bit, and instead of using a menstrual cup, I was going to switch over to a menstrual disc. See how that worked out. Yay! Everyone's so excited to hear this news, right?
I am.
Day 3 of using a menstrual disc. And just so you know that this is a legitimate review, folks, I'm not actually going to say any brands. There are a whole bunch of different brands for discs and cups and all that stuff. So you're just getting the straightforward disc versus cup. Jury's still out, actually. I have no idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is day 3 of using the disc. And while I'm wondering if maybe I'm just not used to it yet, because the getting it in and taking it out is actually easier than the cup, but everything that's going with it is, maybe I'm just not used to it. Maybe I'm just gotta practice with it a little bit more. But it's like the shining up in here, man. It's like the elevator doors have opened and just whoosh, there it is.
What do you mean?
I made an absolute mess. An absolute disgrace of myself. Twice.
Why? Does it like fly out?
No. So I got busy. And of course, it's like day 2 and 3 of my period, which is always the heaviest. And I have a very heavy period. Folks, if you're trying either the disc or the cup, do not wait the full 12 hours that it advertises that you can do. I got busy though. And I went like a full 12 hours without taking care of it. And it was full. And I mean full.
Okay, what's with this self-emptying thing?
Yeah.
It does?
If you let it get full, it's self-emptying, whether you like it or not.
Well, that's called leaking. It leaked.
No, it didn't leak.
What do you mean? You peed and it just started emptying?
No, I didn't do anything. It just decided, we're done.
It leaked.
Leaking is like a little bit here and there. It dumped, dude. It dumped.
A pipe broke.
And it
burst.
didn't dump while I was in the bathroom. I got up this morning and I was like, oh, right out of bed. I was like, oh, there it is. We're done now. Like, okay. Yeah, I made a mess of myself.
But other than that,
So far, so good.
no, but I mean like the self-emptying thing.
So far, so good.
Does it?
It does. Yeah.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Not fully. It doesn't just like open the hatch and like let it go and then close the hatch. That's not how it goes. I thought it was gonna be one of those things like if you bear down.
Yeah, is
it
that
was
not
gonna.
the case?
I don't think I bared down enough to warrant it self-emptying, but it did a little bit anyway
When you were peeing?
when I was peeing. And
I
was
don't like that
"Hmm."
concept. I would rather not.
That's I don't know how I feel about that either. But then there were other times, and I'm wondering if it was just because it was too full. It was the one time I had a chance to go pee, and I didn't have time to take care of the full thing and everything. And it self emptied a little bit, and I'm like, I wasn't ready to deal with that, and I don't have time to deal with that, so I'm just going to ignore it. Went about my day. It was fine until, like, I was like hitting 11 and a half, 12 hours, and it was like, hey, pay attention to me, and I was like, yes, sir, and so I did, and I was like, yeah. Here's Johnny. Like, it was a mess. I was in my work bathroom too. That's something I want to take care of at home, but it was not giving me the option to wait till I got, drove the 7 minutes home.
What'd you do?
I just
Rinse
took
it out?
Yeah. It's like the work bathroom is one stall. It's not like there's a bunch of different stalls, so I was fine by myself. So I was able to rinse it off and everything and take care of it, but it made a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. Yeah. And it was a hassle to clean up. I went through so much toilet paper. It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And I think maybe just because I'm not used to it yet, because I have to work down the timing as far as taking care of it. Because the first day is always a little bit lighter. It's just like, okay, it's here, it's happening.
Yeah.
And it was fine. It was perfectly fine. In, out. It was rather easy to take care of and everything. I think it was just because I let it get way too full. And it did. It was.
Is yours just like a disc and that's it?
It's a shallow bowl. Kind of. Yeah.
But does it have like a tab or?
It's got a tab. It's actually got like a 2-ring tab on it. And at first, I felt like the tab was a little too long because it was just like, hey, how you doing? But they show you a diagram of it that you can actually tuck the bottom ring into the top ring to shorten it, and then you just kind of tuck it up and let it go. And it gets a little used to it because at first, like, I stood up and I was just like, call a doctor. Baby is crowning. Like when I just kind of like relaxed, when I put it in, I stood up, I relaxed a little bit. I was just like, oh, that baby is coming. It's like, it's crowning, man. It's there.
The whole disc or the tab?
I think it was the tab making me feel that way, but like I felt it there, and I was like, it's coming. And so I just kind of had to adjust it a little bit more, and then it was fine. Like I have it right now, and it's fine. Like I don't feel it. It's like I said, it's easier to get in and out. It's a little bit different because the ring around the top of it is rather rigid.
Yeah.
Whereas the cup, was all of it was like a silicone. It was pretty malleable and everything.
Yeah.
Consistently malleable. Whereas the ring around the top is rather rigid, and then the bottom, like the dish part of it, I guess, is very thin and flimsy. And I think that's why they say you can have sex with it in, because it would just kind of push up. Unless you're doing it with like a micro dick or something. I don't know how you wouldn't hit it because it's not that deep. It's not that far back. So I'm like,
ew.
I don't know. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, folks, if you want to do it on your period and everything, I guess they say this thing works. I wouldn't know. I can't give you that aspect of it. But because of the way you poke in a balloon.
Like when you're a kid and you have one of those like those pop it things that you like flip it and then you set it on a table and then your heart races so fast because you don't know when it's gonna pop and then it shoots to the ceiling. It's like that.
A little flimsier, but yes.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Yes, that is pretty accurate actually. As far as the shape and everything, yeah. So yeah, unless you're doing it with a micro dick, then I think you're gonna be bumping into it. Things are gonna be sloshing.
There's
I don't
no
know.
way
I don't
that
know.
nothing leaks out.
I have no idea. The cup is focusing on suction, whereas this is just sitting at the opening. This is sitting on top of
grosses
the
me out so
So
bad.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it one more month to be able to officially determine what
What
I
color
like.
is it?
It's like not seafoam green, but the blue version of seafoam green.
Seafoam blue.
No. I mean yes, but like do you know what I mean? It's like that pale blue. It's like a pale blue, but it has like a tinge of green. It's not teal.
Neon blue.
No. No.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like if you take seafoam green, but go to the opposite side of the blue spectrum with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seafoam blue.
Sure. Is that a color? Let's look that up.
Middle
Figure out
school
that.
blue.
What?
That was like when I was in middle school, it was like blue and chevron print were huge.
I think this is a little bit more green. Why are we so focused on? I don't care. What is
It doesn't
seafoam
matter.
blue a color? Seafoam blue. That's legit. That's pretty much
That's it?
That's it.
That's a nice color.
Valspar SR1202 blue seafoam.
Do you know what I learned about Ace Hardware the other day? This
Ace
isn't
is
not
best
interesting
hardware
at
first.
all. But I
Okay.
learned that there are like so many, and I'm sure this doesn't go for just Ace Hardware, but I learned about Ace Hardware's like rules and regulations around. You okay? You spilled on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have your blankie.
I
Your
don't have
bib.
my blankie. I spilled
Sorry, you
right
wanna-
into my hair.
Do you want a napkin?
It was just a drop.
Okay.
What's that called?
A drop?
No, when you don't have like the self awareness to be able to function properly. There's a term for it.
Dementia?
Probably no. I think it's part of ADHD
I don't know. I don't know
or
what you're talking about.
autism. I got a touch of the autism. I don't know. Anyway, what were we saying? Ace.
There's a lot of rules around the logo and like what you can do with it, what you can't, and the color. There's like an Ace red and an Ace gray, like a specific.
Like the shade of it is only for like the company owns the shade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you can't have Ace written vertically. You can't be on a certain type of signage unless it's only temporary. You can't have it a different color besides Ace red or black and white. You can't stretch it. It has to have the trademark, and you can't put like they had like a certain list of words that can't go next to the word Ace, like bargain or outlet, and it can only be with. They have like their own font.
Are you gonna get into any legal trouble for disclosing this? I
No,
don't
this
know
is
why,
I
but
think
like
this is public information.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm paranoid.
No, this is public. It's advertising.
Okay.
I think it goes for everybody.
Yeah.
They all have their own rules. There
Huh.
are so many.
That just seems extreme.
And I
That
think
just
so too.
You know what? I wonder? I was like, who goes into the type of job that's I'm gonna do like the legality behind advertising? Like that just sounds so boring. I mean, like
Yeah.
if you love it, great. I'm happy for you. I hope you do. I don't like the thought of anybody not liking their job, but like
Hmm.
that just sounds so boring.
Yeah.
Anything with paperwork. I hate paperwork.
Well, the whole time I was like, "What's the point of all of this?" And my coworker was like, "They have to uphold their brand name. They have to keep an image.
Yeah,
So it's got to be very strict, I guess."
I get it, but it's also like it's just not that big of a deal. It's just not that deep, man. It's just not that deep. Switching gears though, because I spilled on my hair.
Okay.
I have some more news for you,
Okay.
and I give you full permission to laugh at me and say I told you so, and haha, you have full
What?
rights here. I give you an open doorway.
What?
I'm not having fun as a blonde. I'm not having more fun.
You're not?
I'm not. I'm not digging it. So I have a hair appointment today,
What?
and I'm going back to brown. You can do it. You can say it. I'm going back to. I said it. I'm going back to brown.
Ooh, okay. No. I'm not gonna do what you want me to do because I'm happy that you came to me with this information. And so it's like, you know, for example, like your kid gets a bad report card, they bring it to you as a parent, and then you're mad at them. Well, next time they get a bad report card, they're not going to bring it to you. Next time that you come to me with an I was right moment, which I know will happen, I would like you to do so openly and comfortably. And so for that reason, I'm not going to say that I told you so.
It will
I'm
never
going to
happen
say
again.
I'm happy that you are using your free will.
It will never happen again, folks.
But
Never
were you
say
having
never.
more fun? You were at one point.
No.
Oh, I like it. But whatever you want to do.
It kind of just blends. It just kind of, I feel whitewashed with it. Just, it's all, oops. It's all very, it's whatever. And the problem is, this is the hair color that I used to have as a kid. I think I might have had it a little bit brighter when I was a kid, but when I moved here, this is my hair. It's not like an unnatural color. Someone even said, like, no, it looks legitimately natural, and it's because it is. It's a natural. I just stripped the brown out of my hair. Yeah, she got a look on her face when I said brown. I'm admitting it. I had brown hair.
It's just so weird.
I know.
To have you admit it.
But the problem, I was a blonde for so much longer than I was a brunette and it happened gradually enough that I just still always imagined myself as blonde. I always still felt
adults
blonde.
are in denial about them not being blonde anymore.
But no, it's not even just me. I looked at there's a girl in my church that when I first met her, she was blonde. Like it was dyed blonde and everything. But the association that I made with her was so blonde that even when she stopped and now her hair is technically brunette, I look at her and I still see her hair as blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Something in my brain registers it as blonde. Not that I'm seeing it, like physically seeing it as blonde, but my hair just, or my mind just says her hair is blonde. It's just dark blonde.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's what was happening to me. And then I went to Kendra's house and I saw her parents and I hadn't seen them in a very long time. And now that I had like legitimately blonde hair, they were like, "Oh my gosh, look at you! Like you lost weight, you've got blonde hair." And her dad said something like, "I can't believe this! Like the last time I saw you, you had brown hair." And he said brown so, like just so like bluntly. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like everyone else really does register me as having brown hair. Always has brown hair because they only ever met me with brown hair.
Right. I'm sure that it would be different if they knew you when you were young.
Yeah.
Because your hair, although it is brown, isn't
It's
crazy.
not dark.
It's not dark brown.
It's like
so
a
if
very
they knew you as a blonde and then as the brown that you have, I could see that.
yeah.
Thinking of you as a blonde.
Yeah. Like it's like a lighter.
It's a light brown.
It's a light brown. So that's why I had such a hard time accepting. This is such a stupid conversation. Nobody cares.
I'm so geeked out right now, though.
But I
This is
am.
so
I'm going back
funny.
to brown. I'm getting low lights and everything put in so I can slowly start growing out my natural hair and just stop dealing with. Blonde's not doing it. And my mother doesn't know how to function properly as far as being nice.
Oh,
because
no.
she was the biggest advocate. She's like, I don't know if I really like it. Just washing it makes me pant. And I'm like, there are better ways to say this.
Or just don't.
Or just don't.
That doesn't, honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, and it's not your hair.
It was
so-
not like a drastic change. Like, if you dyed your hair green and it looked horrible, okay, maybe.
I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, and that's why I did it gradually, too. Like, I didn't go and have brown hair and dye it just straight brown. I gradually lightened it. And so, like, people had they looked at me, like, I was like, are you doing something different with your hair? And it's like, it was like a slow progression into brown. Or into blonde, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to do the same thing. I want to get low lights put in and then just slowly progress back into brown.
Yeah.
Now that we've bored everyone to tears. That's my update. My personal updates. So,
I'm happy for you.
yeah.
I do like it, but I also liked it before.
I saw my profile picture on Facebook is obviously with me with brown hair. And I just started looking at I was like, I think I like the contrast between how pale I am in my not darker, but darker than my skin tone hair.
Yeah.
That's my coat.
She
Okay.
always does that.
Okay.
If you leave a coat on the floor, she is laying on it 100%.
She's like a cat.
Yeah.
That's a cat thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Wow.
how was your week?
Who knows? I listened to your audiobook this
Oh,
morning.
sweet Lord. I have another one. I forgot to send it to you last week. I'll have
That's
send
okay.
you I haven't finished editing chapter 4 yet.
I only listened to chapter 1,
That's
but I love it. I forget that it's you.
Do you?
Yes.
Hmm.
It's really good.
Really?
Yeah. I
Okay.
stopped right when you burped. So I'm not 100% through chapter 1, but you burped and then Eric called me, so it like paused. So
That's brilliant. Oh my god. If anyone wants burp riddled audiobooks, you
it's
know where
so
to come.
funny because you don't even laugh. It's just he went to the door.
Like I said, it was when I was editing it, I made myself crack up in the middle of Barnes and Noble because I was like
The quality.
the nonchalant, just like and then move
It's
on.
like a high quality audio of a burp too. It's like so clear. Like I can hear it coming up.
You got more coming, dude.
Can't
I
wait.
left a few more in there.
Can't wait.
I gotta stop doing that though. I am gonna add when it gets to it. Like I said, I'm gonna add some like of my own commentary. So I'll swap out the burps with commentary.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm glad you like it.
I do really like it.
I have fun doing it. So, like I said, I would really, really, really love to get with like a legitimate company and have actors do the voices and like get together with a male to do male voices rather than me just doing everything. Like I said, the voices are hard. Are you able to tell? I don't know how many characters have come into play so far.
Just a few.
Are you able to tell like a difference between
Yeah.
them? Okay.
Yeah. Especially like the coach.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah, he's okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm
I'm
really
happy to hear
liking
it.
I'm really liking it.
Okay. So you like the audiobook. Do you like the book?
Not sure yet.
You've
Well,
only
I
gotten like
haven't
one
really
chapter.
I
Yeah.
haven't gotten that far into it.
Okay.
And so it's kind of just at a point where it's like bringing up things that are going to be explained later. So I'm just like,
Mhm.
well, who's Kevin? Like, what's going on? Like,
Mhm.
so
Freaking Kevin, man. Oh my god. Kevin. Oh.
so I don't know yet because I have a lot of questions. You know.
Okay. Have you met Kevin yet?
Yeah,
Okay. So they were in the
but
locker
I don't know
room.
what their past is.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that he can't find out who Neil
Mhm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't recognize him
Mm-hmm.
yet.
Dude, this book has ruined my life, and I'm currently reading a new series that I think is going to end up ruining my life as well. Because I have to go get the fourth book because it's not on Kindle Unlimited. The fourth book out of the series is not on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know why, but I have to go get it in paperback now. Which, speaking of paperback, transition. I cannot stand what they're doing nowadays.
What?
The fad of sprayed edges
What's
on
that?
books.
What is that?
So instead of just your normal book and everything, they're painted. The edges are painted different colors.
Oh.
If you want to do sprayed edges, go all out with it. I like the full designs. I like it beautiful. Like if you're gonna, but the solid color sprayed edges, I hate them. They look so cheap. If they're not done so well, where it's a solid color, if there's even a slight discoloration, it looks so freaking cheap. I hate it. I hate solid color sprayed edges. Please stop doing it. And now I went to Barnes & Noble the other day and I was looking at the actual physical books of the series that I'm reading right now, and they're all sprayed edges. And the worst color sprayed edges is they're either yellow or orange because they end up looking like the puke colors. And it's just because it's on paper. It's not like a gloss finish paint or anything like that.
Right.
It's like a matte finish. And so I hope they have copies without the sprayed edges. Like I bought a book that had sprayed edges with a really, really beautiful design,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved it. Like aesthetically pleasing to the nth degree. I will buy that absolutely. But like I said, solid colors, no bueno. No.
When I was a kid, I had like a Grimm's fairy tale book, and the edges were like shimmery gold.
Ooh,
Love it.
those were
So pretty.
I remember way back when I found a Bible of my parents, and I found a highlighter. Not like it was a nasty lime green highlighter, and I was
You
like,
sprayed the edges.
and I sprayed the edges, and my dad just looked. He was like, "Why did you do that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I just wanted the edges to be pretty," because I remember seeing one of his Bibles be gold embossed like that.
Yeah.
The edges and everything are gold. And I was just like, well, I wanted to make it like that. But it was with lime highlighter. And it was like,
God's plan.
it was awful. It looked terrible. My bad. My bad.
How do you feel? I saw on TikTok recently that I saw a book that the edges were like jagged, like they weren't trimmed or something. I don't know what. I don't know. What is that? Tell me about that.
That is, what's the word? Not dappled. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And
Mhm.
it's intentionally made to make it almost look like an old book, that the like loose leaf pages are all put together. What the heck?
Yeah.
Um, I hmm, it really depends on the book. It has to be the full thing has to be the plot, the aesthetic, the everything about it has to be like old timey.
Mhm.
If you're doing it on a modern day book, no, absolutely not. And overall, I think I'd rather just straight edge. I'm pretty simple when it comes. Now, take all your money and your time to design a beautiful cover because I'm
Yeah.
judging a book by its cover.
Yeah.
100%. I will not buy an aesthetically ugly book. I won't do it. Even if I love the book, I won't buy it. I won't
Yeah.
buy it.
How do you feel about when people have like that tool and it like does like an imprint,
The stamper,
a stamper? How do you feel about that?
I guess I don't feel any way about it. What do you mean? How
Well,
do you
just
feel
that-
about it?
I think it can be cool, but I don't know cuz you're like not ruining the book, but like
Well, you didn't answer the question about
what?
the edges either.
Oh,
Well, how do
I-
you feel about that?
I think it would be hard to flip through.
Sorry, that was not necessary to put in the microphone.
But if it like decreases production cost, sure. I don't know that it does. Do you have to put more work in to do that, or is it less work?
I definitely think it's more work.
Well, then
I think more
it's kinda dumb.
cost. As far as flipping through it, I guess it depends on how you flip. If you're someone who holds the book open and then flips from the side,
Yeah.
the jagged edges are going to be difficult. But I'm someone who I'll take from the top.
Oh,
I take the corner from the top, and it doesn't bother me. So those jagged edges are fine. But as far as like this personalized stamper thing, if you are obviously if you're planning to keep your book forever, then it's fine.
mhm.
I don't bother with that because it's not.
I
It
heard
still
that.
came through. Dang, my bad.
Embrace it.
That's gross. Nobody needs to hear that.
Whatever.
No, I don't feel any way about that. I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't like if someone gives away a book, like I don't want their embossed sticker or their
Right.
embossed imprint on it. But if you want to keep your books, then obviously go for it if you want. I don't know.
One
Anyway.
time when I was in high school, I loaned my friend a book that I loved. And it's a movie. I don't know which came first, though. I bet the movie came first, honestly. It's A Million Ways to Die in the West by Seth MacFarlane. It's so bad. But I loved it because it was such an easy read, and I hate to read. So I got it from the dollar store, and so I loaned it to my friend, and she gave it back to me, and she must have crayons in her backpack or something. The edges were sprayed with like purple and blue crayon
Oh my
just
God.
all over. I was mad. Then I just got another one for $1, so now I have two.
I gave one of my favorite books of all time to a friend of mine who I thought he would really like it. It was exactly his kind of thing. He kept it for a while. I don't know if he read it fully, but when he gave it back, that thing was destroyed.
How does that happen?
It was destroyed. I mean, there was like coffee stains on it. All the corners were bent and flipped, and the pages were like warped because of whatever spilled on it. And he destroyed that thing. And when I said, I was just like, "Hey, what the heck?" And he's like, "Oh no, it was like that." And I'm like, "100%, it was not like that when you got it."
That's a crazy
I
claim.
treasure my books, and I ended up having to like rebuy them all, which was frustrating because I rebought the first book in paperback. Then my mom was awesome. She got me the second book, but she got it in hardback,
Mhm.
and so then I had to rebuy the first book in hardback and continue the series all in hardback.
Hardback.
Yeah.
Hardcover.
It's the same thing.
Hardback. I've never heard that.
Paperback, hardback.
Remember being in school and you had to get a book sleeve? That's the dumbest thing ever.
Were you someone that did the paper? I had
did
my
that
mom.
in college.
My mom did a lot of my paper.
That's
the problem
cool.
was I was still in that. It was like right when the socks came out, like the elastic socks and everything were coming out. The book fair would always have them, and everyone was like comparing them. And so you were the loser that had like a Respecs bag turned into your book cover.
I think it's cute.
I like it. I mean, and it protects more.
Well, when I was in college, I did that, and I pasted little drawings that I had on the
Yeah.
covers, and they were cute.
Yeah.
But I think it's dumb because the book sucked anyway.
Yeah.
So what was that sock really doing?
Half the time the socks were stretched so thin and like the corners were exposed anyway that it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
So you just had to have one.
Textbooks.
Yeah.
I
I was in the era where we went to the library, you had your library card and you would check out with the librarian and everything, and in the front of any textbook you wrote your name into it, like what year, and you could go back through. It was like a yearbook of all the students who had the same
so fun.
Yeah, good times, simpler times. But yeah, I got made fun of for having my paperback.
That's so lame.
My paper covers and stuff. And I tried so hard to convince people, like, no, it's so much better. You get to draw and you get to make your own designs on it. And they're like, no, you're a loser. And I'm like, please stop.
They're like, we're drawing on the socks anyway. So.
Yeah.
I did because I did have socks, but there wasn't like a social thing around them in my school.
There was a little bit, maybe it was my paranoia, my social anxiety, but there was a little bit of a stigma around it.
I want to say that we had to get like certain colors for certain subjects.
Oh, you went like you. Yeah, we didn't
like
have
they
to.
would say like a green sock for science or whatever. Like, and like folders too. Like we had to get certain colors for everything. But I did love sticking my pencil in the sock and then watching it stretch around.
Yep.
Oh, I could go for some of that right now.
Yep, that's the circle when it would fold. It would the crescent moon like would shake. Oh my gosh.
Shift around.
Yes.
Love that.
100%. Good times. Good times. I had this one book sock that I used for years because it just encompassed math so well. So you know how each subject has its certain color? Well, this book sock was a bunch of like little misshapen squares, all different colors.
Perfect.
And it was exactly like the counter squares that it reminded me so much of the counter squares that we used to use, and we would stack them together and like use as a sword kind of thing. It was exactly that. I used that thing for years, as long as I could, until it fell apart. And then there were also the socks that you bought from the Scholastic Book Fair. They were color changing.
What?
They changed
like temperature?
Colors. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Until you wore them out, and then it just faded. It didn't work anymore. Good times. Oh, the nostalgia. I still remember the smell of the Scholastic Book Fair.
Yeah.
Like that rubbery, plasticky smell of them opening everything up and all the... And it was less... You didn't get toys. You got like the little journals and the little troll doll pencils, and you got all the extra stuff that was stupid.
I loved it.
You know what I also... Okay, did you have... like not the book fair, but the Scholastic book orders? Like your teacher would pass out the paper and you got to check mark whatever. I did not know how that worked. I did not know that you had to order them.
Yeah.
Didn't know that you had to take it to your parents. You had to order out the slip. You had to send in the money for it and everything. I had no idea. I was just checking off the books that I wanted like in my own head, and then I wouldn't ever give it to my parents. And the day would come when the books would arrive, and I would sit there anxiously. Am I going to get the books? Am I going to get it? I didn't know that you had to like.
Oh my god! I'm so sad.
That's my stupid elementary school brain. Like, didn't realize you had to order them. And then when I finally did cue into the fact that you had to order them, my mom never ordered them for me.
Well, you probably didn't need them.
I didn't need them. She maybe got me like one or two every once in a while, but like, get your kids books, folks.
Oh my god, that is so sad.
Looking back now. Okay, so we weren't poor. I'm not going to say we're poor.
Right.
But we were the coupon. We were the on a budget. Just everything. I don't know if my mom was just a cheapskate or whatever. But like, I just remember I shouldn't say never, but always like being on the show, like not having what everyone else had. I was always one step behind. And I think we talked about this before, because we would always wait for things to come on sale. So by the time I was like up with the trends, they were on to the next thing. I was always one step behind. And then as far as, you know, anything that I want, it was just extra. Like the books were always like, oh, that's extra. We don't need that. Like, oh, we don't need that. Get your kids the things that they want like that. Just like the little extras, the little books and stuff, the things that make them comfortable with the society that is going on at the moment, like the little things that just make you fit in a little bit more, give that to your kid. Help them out a little bit because I was a loser. I was a loser all through school.
You know what's funny? I was not poor at all, but my parents were still cheap, and I was also always the loser.
That's exactly
But
it.
it's not that we didn't have. My mom shopped at Old Navy, so at CBA there's like a dress code. It's kind of like a uniform though, where you have to wear khaki pants. They can be khaki, gray, or khaki blue or black, right?
Yeah.
You have to wear a polo shirt. It can be any color. In the winter, you have to wear an Oxford. It can be white or light blue.
So you had
You can wear
your
a sweater.
overall kind of rules that you had to match, but then you could kind of do whatever you wanted with those
Yes,
criteria.
because even though the rules were very strict, there was still like a social element of like, oh, well, they have Sperry shoes, the Sperry boat shoes, and I just have shoes from Old Navy. Like,
Yeah.
even though we were all wearing the same thing, there was like a brand
Yeah.
difference. So yeah, my mom shopped at Old Navy, so my khakis were from Old Navy, and I felt like a loser because all of the girls wore these skin tight khakis, but I also thought it looked so dumb.
Yeah.
And I was like, that doesn't look comfortable. I don't know how you take them off, so I will stick with my baggy khakis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt behind in a lot of ways, but I also kind of didn't care. My sister cares.
I had to stop caring.
Yeah.
I forced myself to stop caring because I could just never keep up with it. I remember the last time I was trying so hard to keep up with trends and everything. I went shopping with my mom and purses at the time. Do you remember those bags with like the plastic discs, the shimmery? Oh, I don't even know what they called them or whatever, but they had like these plastic discs that were sewn onto them, and the whole thing, it would ripple. Let me see. No memento. Let me see if I can find this because I really want to describe it.
Is it like the material of those pillows that change like picture, like you swipe it this way and then you swipe it back and it's like Elon Musk or something?
It's kind of it's though that material, but they were loose. They flowed more. They weren't fully connected onto this. That's
so ugly.
It was like very
so ugly.
mid to 2010s kind of thing.
But I bet it was all the craze.
It was. And while it was super popular and everything, I loved them. I wanted one so stinking bad. But we had to wait till they went on sale and everything. And then they finally went on sale. I finally got one. And I was the only person carrying it around because everyone had moved on.
You can't there's no point in keeping up with trends.
Well, that's why I had to stop myself from carrying because I was like, I'm never going to be able to. And then I remember going shopping one time for another purse. I love purses. Like it's purses and shoes. Purses and shoes are the only like two things that I actually like really like shopping for. And I found this one purse that I was just like, I'm gonna get ahead of the game. Like it wasn't super in style and everything, but I saw it at like a higher class store. Higher class. It was like at Macy's or something. I don't know. But in my like middle school brain, I was like, this is a fancy older woman's store, you know? I saw this purse. And my mom was like, are you serious? Are you sure you want it? Because it was a little bit more expensive. She's like, are you sure? Are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I'm sure. And she's like, all right, fine. And so she bought it for me. And it never came in style.
Oh
I thought I was
God.
getting ahead of the game, right?
This breaks my heart.
So it never came in style. And so, people kind of made fun of me, like whatever, like, oh, that's not very good. And so I stopped carrying around. And my mom was like, I'm never buying you another purse.
No, that's valid.
And I'm like, okay, so she never bought me another purse again.
God.
And it was just like, I give up. I can't do it.
Well, you can. It's not. If it's so pointless.
But then I got in trouble for it.
Why?
Not in trouble. I shouldn't say that because I stopped caring about fashion. I stopped caring about it. So all I wore was what I was comfortable in, which was jeans and t-shirts. I stopped caring. So I only wore jeans and t-shirts quite literally every day of all of high school. And my mom would get mad at me. I want to see you in something. I bought you all these nice clothes and everything. And I'm like, you bought me all these nice clothes that are not in style. I don't know what you think, high school girls and like middle school girls are wearing nowadays, but it's not this. it's not looking like a 40-year-old because I look like, the nice clothes she bought me are like from our church and everything. I'm like, I don't want to look like a 40-year-old. And so I wore jeans and t-shirts and she got irritated with me. And I'm like, I can't win. I don't care. I don't care anymore. So now literally all I ever wear is leggings and whatever I feel comfortable in.
Yeah.
If I'm not comfortable, I'm not wearing it. I'm not sacrificed. Like, you know how women like, oh, you got to sacrifice. Nope.
No, I don't. I never do that. Like, I don't know. The idea of things being in style or in trend is so dumb to me. Because, okay, my sister is very on trend and is very hip with the kids and
well, she has the type of personality. She's more of the trend setter, it seems like, rather than just falling in line with it.
Nah.
No?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Okay.
But there are definitely a lot of decisions that she makes because she thinks they're about to be in trend or because it's becoming a trend.
Okay.
She has so many clothes that she doesn't wear.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's dumb.
Yeah.
But she will like buy something. She wears it one time. She's like, I don't like it anymore. I'm like, just buy things because you like them, not because they're what's trending.
I am the type of person, because I have to do laundry every day because of work.
Oh.
I'll toss like my 1 day outfit in with the rest of my lawn. Like, I'll wear the same thing multiple days in a row. Because it's washed, because I just washed it last night. I wore it yesterday, washed it that night. It's ready for the next day. I was comfortable in it. Let's wear it again.
I'll take it one step further. I don't even wash.
No, okay, you know what? I'll give it to you. There are some articles of clothing you absolutely can do that. Like jeans, they don't need to be washed every day.
You shouldn't wash
Sweatshirts never need to be washed. You never have to wash a sweatshirt unless you actively spill something on it.
Or you stink.
No, not even then.
Oh.
You just flap a sweatshirt around, air it out a little bit, and you're good to go. Sweatshirts do not need to be washed.
Yeah.
I'm lying, folks. I hope that comes. I'm not serious. Oh my god.
I wear the same thing multiple days in a row. I would say I get a good 3 days before I wash the top.
I cannot. Like a t-shirt, a regular top. A t-shirt I can only do 1 day. If it's a nicer top, like what I'm wearing right now.
Yeah.
If I don't get anything on it, I could maybe go another day without it. Well, it really depends on how long I'm wearing it for the day. If I have just if I put it on, have a few errands, go back home, take it off, I'm good for a couple days. But today I'm going to be in it all day. No, one and done.
Yeah, if you're not wearing it all day, then it's basically clean. Well, see,
logic.
The thing is, I wear such huge clothes that they're not touching my body anyway. They're just floating in space. They're floating in space, so how are they? It might as well be on the hanger still.
Oh my god.
It's not touching me.
Well, that's what I mean.
is not-
Sweatshirts. That's what I mean. That's a sweatshirt.
This isn't in my armpit.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good for days with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't spill anything on it. You're good.
I'm not you, so I won't. I'm just kidding. I probably would.
You're gonna turn me into a mean person.
I'm sorry. I was just kidding because you did spill something on you.
I did. I spilled it on my hair actually, but it's fine. I'm gonna get my hair washed later today.
I love getting my hair washed as a hairdresser.
I hate it. I hate it.
Why?
It's too much touching.
Okay.
It's too all up in my. They touch my neck and I'm like, hey!
Why they touch your neck?
Well, I gotta get the back of your hair, like the bottom of your hair back here,
Nah.
the nape of your neck or
The
whatever
nape.
it is.
What is it? Which is the nape? Is it the top or the bottom or the middle?
I feel like the nape of your neck is like right where your hairline and neck are. That's your nape.
This sounds wrong. I don't know why.
Nape.
Nape.
It's a weird word.
Anyway, yeah, I wear clothes a few days in a row.
Yeah. I hate doing laundry, so I live out of my laundry basket or the clean clothes pile that has ended up at the end of my bed.
Well, I have a medium pile, a medium basket. I have a dirty basket and a this was on my body, but it's not dirty yet. Basket.
I have the clean basket in front of the dryer that I just leave there after I pull everything out of the dryer and I just
You
shuffle.
don't hang anything. Or
No, I
anything?
hang nothing.
Good.
I leave
Honestly,
it. I pull it out of the dryer. I leave it there, and I ruffle through that. And then when that gets too full, I tell myself, all right, time to put my clothes away. So I take it to my room, dump it on my bed. Then I don't do it, and I have to go about my life. And so I get back home at the end of the day, go to get into bed. I'm like, oh, there's a huge pile of clean clothes on my bed. So I shove them off on the floor. So now I have a clean clothes pile at the end of my bed. Then the one at the dryer starts accumulating again. So I've got 2 clean clothes piles.
So you're on like a rotation.
It's not even so much a rotation, but now they're just accumulating. Someday I will have to cave and put it all away. Someday.
Oh, this has been going on. This is
weeks in the process. This is an accumulation of weeks. So I'm living out of the basket and the clean clothes pile. And then the ones that kind of the same thing where I'm like, oh, it's not quite dirty yet, they end up in front of my closet. I don't know why. That's just where they end up. In front of my closet, not in it, in front of, because that makes sense, on the floor. Right. And then they sit there long enough that then I need to do laundry, and I'm like, oh, I have room to throw a little bit more in. These aren't totally dirty, but I'm going to throw them in anyway.
Oh, yeah. When I do laundry, I do my medium pile.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah. Well, I always tell myself, like, oh, I can wear this again. I never do. So it's technically a dirty pile.
Yeah.
Even though it's not dirty.
Yeah.
We're disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's good that you already got your guy locked down, and I have no interest in it because...
Okay, I'm not that gross. You wouldn't know it by smelling me that I've worn this shirt now 2 days
Let other
in a
people tell you
row.
that. Just making things even.
But see, the thing is, I don't move my body, so I'm not sweating.
So you're gross and lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I'm
Good combination.
gross and inactive.
Very good. Very good. It's a good way to be.
I am so for like doing less when it comes to laundry. Like, why were we folding underwear? Like, were you folding your underwear as a kid?
No.
My mom made me fold it.
Oh my gosh.
Now I just throw it in a basket. I've got like a bin of underwear.
Yeah,
like I'm so for like.
That's not getting folded.
Why do you have to hang your stuff? Why do you have to fold your pants? Why? What's the point? Just don't.
I mean,
just don't.
Wrinkles.
Whatever.
Like,
who cares?
See, I also don't wear clothing that wrinkles very easily.
Yeah.
So, and if it does wrinkle, then my logic is I'm going to put it on my body. My body heat will help iron out the wrinkles.
And it does.
That's exactly what I did with this shirt.
They fall out.
That's what I did with the shirt. If you look at the back of it, it's probably still a little wrinkled, but like whatever.
Nothing matters. We're on a rock. Why does a wrinkle matter?
Well, I also stopped telling myself that back in high school, I stopped caring because I really don't. I don't care what other people think of me. Unlike everyone else, I wasn't trying to get a boyfriend. I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I was just trying to get through my day, and I was going to try and get through my day comfortably. And that kind of resulted. I will say, though, when I was in college, right out of high school, I went to college for the first year. That was my deepest level of depression. I was like non-existently depressed. I looked my best. I tried to make
That's really interesting.
Yeah. It was just funny because like everyone's showing up to college in their sweatshirts and pajama pants and everything. I had my high-heeled boots on. I had jacket and jewelry and like hair all curled and makeup all did and everything. I was trying so hard to make myself look good because I felt like such garbage. And it didn't work because it was actually an acting class or whatever, a drama class. And became friends with this one girl, and we were walking out to our cars one time, and I forget how the conversation went, but she was just like, yeah, you walked into class that first day, and I was like, and she said that she could tell. She's like, oh yeah, this girl is sad. And I was like, I was dressed to the nines and everything, and she's like, nah, that girl is sad. There's something up there.
Wow.
So
we'll see. I
wasn't fooling anybody.
A lot of people, I hate when people assume the opposite, or they like equate like success or like function, like if you're functioning to like you must be happy or like you can't be depressed.
Yeah,
I hate that.
So my dad called me the other day. We've got a lot of family drama. I know I've mentioned it before. We've got a lot going on, and I'm so bad at I forget how we spiraled into the conversation, but when I'm talking to my dad, he'll just kind of dump everything, info dump. He's just got a lot going on, and so he just dumps it all out. And he was like, I don't understand how anybody can go through all this and not be depressed. I'm like, depression is hell on earth. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there listening to him rant and rave about like how like depressed he was ending up getting and how he could have been. And I'm like, you're literally talking to the queen of depression. Like, what do you mean? I spent a decade in
talking to the
complete
queen.
depression. Like, what do you? And then I think he just didn't realize what I don't know. And he was just like, yeah, I know. And then we just quickly changed the conversation. I don't know. It was just funny. And I'm like, I don't know. The people who are closest to you, I think, are blind to, the most blind to it. Although my brother he called me out on it. If I wasn't dressed to the nines at work or at college or whatever, I was at home in my room in the biggest, baggiest t-shirt. The same thing. It wasn't even touching me. It was like floating. It was like a balloon. But then when I moved up here, he came to visit one time and we were talking to like the group of young adults and everything. And he went off. He was just like, I hope you guys realize like the difference in her and like you guys are really helping her because she never wore anything other than her big baggy t-shirt. And I know exactly what t-shirt he was talking about because I lived in it. I was like, dude, call me out a little harder. My God, like it's so embarrassing. She never smiled. She never came out of her room. She never did. And I was like, how did you notice this? I'm like, me and my brother were not close at all. Like in high school, we hated each other.
But it's sweet that he noticed.
And that's what I'm like, he commented, I posted this one thing right after I left, I posted this thing like, oh, my friends and my family, just pictures. It's just like, oh, I miss you guys. He commented on it and he was just like, you could just come home. You can come home. And I'm like, oh my God, like, since when do you like me? Like, what?
That's really
when did
nice.
that happen?
That's really nice.
But, I don't know. It's just, well, how do we get on this? Let's move on. What?
Baggy clothes.
Baggy clothes. Oh, I love baggy clothes.
When I was in high school, like, I always kind of do a thing where, like, I'll buy a new whatever, and I just love it, and I just always wear it until I wear the heck out of it, and then I move on to the next thing that I have recently bought. When I was in high school, I had gotten, like, I had to wear an Oxford every day. So I got an Oxford that I really liked. I don't remember why. I don't know, good texture or something. But it had to be ironed and washed when I was in high school.
Oh, that's not something that a high schooler is doing.
I was wearing it every day, but then like before bed, I would iron it with my hair, my flat iron, because I was too lazy.
I've done that so many times.
But I remember one time ironing the armpits and the fumes, the stank that came out of them. I was like, one more day. But I would just wear it every day. It was my favorite one.
I would wear sweatshirts as coats in elementary school. I remember this specifically. I would wear this one. It had like a monkey head on it or whatever when monkeys were all. Bobby Jack was like real.
Oh my God, what was that?
I know. So I would wear this one sweatshirt, light blue, monkey head. It wasn't actually Bobby Jack. It just had a monkey head on it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Move on. During the fall and winter and everything, instead of wearing a big clunky jacket, I would just put this sweatshirt on.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing, in my head, I'm wearing it as a coat. You don't wash coats all the time. But when I was in school, I just wouldn't take off the coat. And I would wear the same thing over and over and over. And I'm talking like days upon days upon days, like multiple weeks. I wore the same sweatshirt. But I wore different clothes underneath.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm clean. Nobody else did. And it got to the point where my friends actually said something, but they said it about another friend of ours who kind of did the similar thing. She would always wear the same sweatshirt as well. And because I was doing it, I knew what she was doing. So I didn't think anything of it. But then my friends come to me and they're just like, yeah, this girl, our friend, I'm not going to say her name, but our friend is like wearing the same thing every day. Is everything okay? Like, do you know what's going on? And then I just divulged to
what
them.
a way to do that.
What a roundabout way of like saying like, hey, you gotta. And I told them, I was like, oh no, we wear it as coat. Like, and I just, it didn't take me.
No, it's
it
okay.
It took me until I was a full blown adult to like think back about that conversation. And I realized like, oh my God, they thought I was like gross. They thought I was dirty. Like I changed my clothes every day, but I was just wearing the sweatshirt like as a coat. So yeah.
You were probably gross.
I was not gross.
Your coat was gross.
It probably was, but I registered it as like a coat, and you don't wash coats all the time. Yeah. It's weird, the things that I remember from way back when. I remember so specifically that, and it irks me to this day, elementary school. You're in school all day long. You don't get to talk to your friends all the time, right? So you have your lunch period and your recess to talk and hang out with your friends. Well, these dictators at that freaking school, they had the 2-minute warning. So the one opportunity that we have to hang out and talk with our friends in the cafeteria, at the end of the cafeteria period, 2 minutes, we were not allowed to say a word. If you got caught even whispering to a friend, they would move you to another table. And it was embarrassing because all you had to do was like look around at each other and like wait for someone to screw up, and then everyone was staring at you, so you got moved to a new table. It was awful. It was absolutely horrendous. And to this day I'm still irritated about it. I'm like, what are we supposed to do all day? Like, and you would yell at us. We had those stupid stoplights when it got too loud. And I'm like, even if everybody is whispering, 130 kids whispering turns into a lot of noise. What do you expect us to do? And it was just so frustrating. I'm like, oh, if you're going to get mad at us for being so loud, close the cafeteria doors when we're all in here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the few classrooms that are near the cafeteria and everything, close the door. It's not that big of a deal. It irritates me to this day. I'm like, But anyway, the other thing I remember is my friend Amy. She always had a banana nut bread thing, and she would split that with everybody. And I remember her tearing off pieces of it, and I always remember asking, like, I don't want an end piece, I want a middle piece. She's like, okay. And she always gave me a middle piece. But she would
really
split her
cute.
banana bread with us every day. It was great.
All I wanted to do was talk
Mm-hmm.
all day.
Mm-hmm.
They should have a period for just talking.
That's called recess.
No, that's for playing. It's different. I mean, I was talking during recess, for sure.
Well, that's what you do during recess. That's the talking time. What I'm saying is they took away the talking from the talking time, and I was not okay with that. Even as a little elementary school kid, I was just like, this isn't right. This is oppression. This is, and I was like, I had all these I had all these like adult feelings in elementary school, but obviously I didn't have the words to come across. I didn't have a way to express any of it. So now it just builds up, and now I'm just like, that was so wrong. That was freaking wrong. And it irks me to this day. 29 years old, and I'm irked about what they did to me in elementary school.
We used to have silent lunch periods because there was a church in our building. On the middle floor, the main floor, there was a church. In the basement is where we had our lunch, the cafeteria. So if there was a funeral going on during our lunch period, we had to do a silent lunch, and if you spoke, you had 5 minutes on the what do they call it? The line. It means you basically had to stand on a line for 5 minutes of recess instead of playing.
Yeah, we had the penalty box.
Yeah.
Which was, I think we talked about this before. In my idiot little elementary school brain, I thought the penalty box was like this cage that they locked you in and you couldn't breathe and it was going to suffocate you. Like the chokey, yeah! I thought it was like the chokey. Turns out it was just a spray painted box, like a line on the ground near the fence that you had to just sit in the box.
It's probably a 4-square box.
No. We did have that, but nope, they were yellow lines. They were yellow rectangles along the fence. But it was just, again, like big adult feelings. And I'm like, to this day, I'm just like, they would put clothespins on your shirt if you had like you had to sit in the penalty box. And I'm like, that's humiliating.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
I don't like that.
The punishment, and I saw a guy talking about this in a totally different context, but he was talking about like hitting your kids. And he was like, what's the real punishment? Is it the pain or is it the shame? Basically. And the answer is that it's the shame because it could not even hurt physically. But when you're hitting your kid in public, that's embarrassing for the kid. So I feel like sitting in the penalty box is not about losing out on your time. It's about the shame of like, everybody knows. You know what I mean?
You kind of broke my brain a little bit just because it was the pain for me. When I got spanked like a kid. Well, you know what? I guess
it depends on where it happens.
Well, no, I guess because it always like I don't remember ever getting spanked in public or anything. So it wasn't a humiliation thing. It was the pain for me cuz maybe that's why Aunt Rachel has such a problem with it.
Why?
Because we got the belt. We got several whacks with the belt. I remember my mom coming at me with a plastic spatula, just going at me. I mean, welts and everything. So maybe that's why Aunt Rachel has such a problem with it, because I think my parents were out to hurt us a little bit. Not like abuse or anything, but like
no, that
is.
No, that is.
Yeah, they tried to hurt, because I remember like the shame of it and everything if we didn't react. Because I remember I was wearing these pants one time that they afforded a little bit of cushion, And so I guess I didn't react in pain enough.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got whacked more until I reacted in pain enough, I guess. I don't know.
That was always my goal, was to
Um,
not react.
You always want to put on a brave face, like you're not gonna. No, but we kept getting it until we reacted appropriately, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, we got the belt. We got yeah. No, it was definitely the pain for me. Like we need to move
We
on.
need to move on.
We need to move on. I'm sorry. Okay.
The box, penalty box.
Yeah. Also, when we got that was like kindergarten, first grade kind of thing as far as like the clothespins. As we got older, if you got we got demerits and everything in our agendas. If you did something wrong, if you didn't have your homework, whatever, you got a big old demerit. And then if you got 5 demerits, we had 9 weeks. Our year was split up into 9 weeks. There were 4 9 weeks throughout the year. Wait for it.
Good one.
That was good. That felt good. Anyway, at the end of the 9 weeks, they had like a 9-week party. We either went on a trip or we had like a little pizza party, just
Whoa.
something like that. But if you had 5 demerits, you couldn't do it. You couldn't participate in it. And I just remember it being over like the stupidest
That's
little
terrible.
thing. And like, this is I think where my authority issue stemmed, because I remember one time I was in 5th grade and my science teacher gave me a demerit for chewing gum. And I remember being so angry. I took my pencil and scribbled so hard into that demerit and just like pencil through paper. And it was like a demerit. It was like a stamp, a red stamp and everything. But I scribbled that thing out so hardcore. She wrote gum next to it and I scribbled all over it. And it was just like this huge black mark in my agenda over top of it. And then the teacher would count through everybody's demerits at the end. And she was like, well, what is that? And I'm like, this is a demerit.
Oh my god.
Oh my! But I never missed a 9-week party. I will say I pushed the limit. I always had I was always pushing like with 4 demerits and everything, but I never missed the party. But just stuff like that, I'm like, who cares? I think that it's my homework. It's my intelligence that I'm risking here. Why do you get to? I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
I know I'm in the wrong here, folks. I know I know I'm wrong, but this is my brain thinking to myself, it's just like, why do you care about what I know, what I'm letting myself know or not know? That's what I was always thinking. It's just like, who cares if I'm stupid? That's on me, not on you. Even though it is, because they have standards they have to meet.
No, but it's a good point.
That's my brain for you. I have an actual issue with authority.
I get it. I definitely thought that everything like was gonna matter a lot more.
Yeah. Well, they made it sound like the be all end all.
Yeah.
You know? They always made like your sophomore year is actually your most important. Your sophomore and junior years are actually the most important. You have to do.
Oh my god, the SAT. I haven't. Okay, well,
I never took it.
Oh, well, there you go.
I took the ACT twice. I did worse the second time around.
I didn't take the ACT, but like, okay. I mean, I've gone to SUNY schools, but like they've never asked to see it.
Yeah. No, we had standardized the standardized tests and everything are so hyped for not a lot of payout. We had the OGTs, the Ohio graduation test. That was you had to take that in sophomore year and you had to pass that to be able to move on.
We had ISTEP, Indiana State. TEP. I don't remember.
Good one. Oh man.
I hated standardized tests so bad. They were so boring. They were so pointless. I never find out how I did on them. What was the point? Why?
Yeah. I think I got like a 25 or like a 24 or 25 the first time I took the ACT, and then I got like a 23, 24 or something the second time I took it. And after that, I was like, this is actually stupid.
Yeah.
Because the problem is the stuff that there's on those standardized tests half the time are not what you learned. They're like a warped version of what you learned. But I'm like, I don't know this. I was never taught how to do this. I was never taught how to learn how to do this or how to think through how to do this.
And that's not your fault.
That's not my fault. I was taught.
It's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of your teachers.
I was like, I was taught what I was taught, and I was taught how to know what I was taught. That was it. Not how to figure it out, not how to put the pieces together, not how to work it. No.
No,
Nope.
you're right. It is warped and whoa. And big truck pulling in. It's not like a test of your intelligence. It's a test of how good of a test taker are you.
Yeah. Can you get the right answer?
You can take like courses or they have books on SAT or ACT prep. It doesn't mean you're smarter. It just means you know how to answer those dumb, warped, weird questions about. I had one about flour and a recipe, and yeah, it's not about how smart you are.
Yeah. No, it was always so far because that's not how my brain works.
No, most people, it's not how their brain works. Yeah, it's really dumb. I don't remember even how I did on the SAT.
Yeah, I did not bother. When I heard that it was like a 4-hour test and like 3
And you have to pay for it.
And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't care enough. And the problem is actually that when I was in elementary, middle school, and everything, I was testing at advanced levels. You know, when I was in middle school, I was getting high school scores and everything. And so they always put me in the advanced classes. Well, the problem with that was the fact that they didn't do anything. They didn't actually push you any further. They just had the label of advanced. It was just like a separate class or whatever. But they didn't do anything to promote advanced learning. You know, they just gave me different stuff within the curriculum at different times. And I'm like, if I was testing in high school when I was in middle school, then when I got to high school, give me college classes.
Yeah.
Nothing like that was available.
Man.
There was the option when you were like a junior or senior or something, you could swap out some of your classes to take classes at OUE, which was like the local branch of Ohio University. But that was only like it only worked for a few classes. It only worked for certain schedules and everything. They weren't really working with you, or at least I never could figure out how to get my schedule to do like that. But by the time I got to high school, my advanced intelligence or whatever they claimed I had, it had plateaued.
Yep.
Everything had caught up. I'm like, I was ranked like 23rd or something in my class. Like I was completely and totally average, even though all through school they say, "Oh, you're so smart." I'm like, good job on cultivating that. What the frick?
Yeah, when I moved to Indiana, I ended up ahead in math. But when I moved back here, the math class that I was in, like, I don't remember what the reason was, but like it wasn't equivalent or something. So they I basically took the same year of math 2 times instead of being in the AP or whatever that was so dumb.
Yeah.
It was so pointless. I was so bored learning the same things twice. I got a 100 on everything.
Yeah.
It was so dumb because then I was in dumb math for the rest of high school.
Yeah.
Because of that 1 year, they didn't just put me in the AP or whatever you want to.
Well, I know the AP government class that I had. I was pretty excited for it. It's always something, I'm into that kind of thing. I'm into history and into government. I'm into politics and everything. But AP government was taught by one of the football teachers or football coaches. I mean, which means he just had to teach something to be qualified to be a coach.
Yep.
And they didn't have anyone else to do it, so they slapped AP on the label of it. He didn't teach. There was maybe a grand total of 4 days out of the entire year that he actually was stood in the front of the classroom and taught us something, which was so frustrating. It was just huge, long notes, slideshows of notes and everything that we had to copy down. He would give us a test. It was so useless. And the frustrating part about it was that he could have actually been a really fantastic teacher because he's one of the few people that the few times he did get up and actually speak, he played devil's advocate so fantastically. To this day, I still don't know what side he's on. And it's because no matter what you said, he made you think about it from the other perspective.
That's
to
great.
Really get. But he didn't teach. He didn't do anything.
That's too bad.
And I'm like, this is AP, but we're sitting here like half the time because it was right after our lunch period. Me and some of the other girls, we couldn't drive, so we had to walk to there was a couple restaurants, Main Street and everything. We would show up half an hour late to this class. He wouldn't care because he wasn't doing anything anyway. I'm like, okay, cool, man, cool. Complete waste of my time. High school was a complete and utter waste of my time. Every class, so my math classes couldn't follow along. I'm completely, what's that called? Dyscalculia or something like that? Probably got something like that because it just does not register at all. You can teach me the same thing over and over again. I will forget the moment you're done. Anyway, math was a done deal for me. I was terrible at it. I dropped that the moment I could. Everything else was either ridiculously easy or so beyond boring and pointless. Everything I was learning, I was like, when am I going to ever use this? I'm not interested in this. This is stupid and dumb. I couldn't. High school was the biggest waste of time. And of course, all the classes that I was interested in or that could have been useful, they didn't offer anymore. Home ec, not a thing in my school.
I didn't either, yeah.
So to this day, can't cook to save my life. Or I hate cooking. I hate shop. I hate it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that could have been a useful thing. Basic life skills. I had to take I took 3 days of trigonometry. And it was just because I was pushing myself. I was like, all my friends are in all these advanced math classes and stuff. I feel so stupid because I'm a senior and I'm only in trigonometry. I took 3 days of trig and I was like, nope, not worth it. Couldn't do it.
I didn't even get. The highest math level I took in high school was algebra 2.
I took, was it pre-algebra in 8th grade? Algebra 1, algebra 2, and then geometry my junior year. I took 3 days of trigonometry my senior year, and I was like, nope, done.
I was supposed to take pre-calc in my senior year, but I got a 56 on the math regents. I got a 98 in math class, and then I took the regents. I got a 56 on it.
Yeah.
So there's for that was how arbitrary all of that is.
It's just frustrating when I knew the things that I was and was not interested in, and they didn't give you any options to cultivate that. There were no additional classes or resources or anything that were provided to get you on the course that you were interested in. Because I loved science. Could only take so many science classes because you had to meet the criteria for everything else.
I had that issue too. I wanted so badly to take AP Bio when I was in 11th grade, and I couldn't because I hadn't done whatever. Yeah.
It's just really frustrating. I'm like, we're forced to take all these credits that we don't want or we know we don't need. And it's just to meet the standard of this illusionary standard because, the country wants to make itself feel good. We're meeting these standards that they've created. It's that's the thing. I'm like, the idea of college and choosing your classes and choosing your courses, that needs to be implemented a little bit more in high school. Yeah, there are, certain things that you need to do just because you need to do them. But at some point, if you know what you're doing, I should not have been forced to take math classes when I knew for 100% sure I was never going to do anything with math class because of how badly I hated it. You couldn't pay me to do math. No. But I was forced to do it. And it's just, I don't know. This is the problem with it. I'm like, I could give me the plans, let me rewrite them, and I will have the education system whipped into shape. It's amazing. Oh my God. But alas, I do not respect your authority. So, I don't know.
What country is it that they have kids when they're in middle school, they kind of pick their trajectory?
It's in Norway or something that
it's interesting.
Is the highest, is the best education system or something. Norway, Sweden, one of those classes like that. Or no, what is it? Is it Norway that has absolutely no privatized schools? Therefore, there is no picking and choosing. There's no funding one. All education is the same no matter where you go, which helps eliminate classism, racism, because you're all getting the same.
Yeah.
But because it's all the same, you still want your kid to do well, and therefore everybody's doing well. Nobody's falling behind because they're pushing it further, but everyone, the no child left behind thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the idea was kind of the other places like that, but because of the structure of our system here, unfortunately, the no child left behind thing was so detrimental because all we did was drop our standards. Rather than raising everybody up to higher standards, we just kept dropping them, and we're continuing to drop them. So it totally defeated the purpose and everything.
The whole education, everything is messed up. Nobody wants to be a teacher. It's so expensive to become a teacher. Then once you're a teacher, you don't get paid anything. Why would anybody want to be a teacher? There's no teachers.
There's no incentive.
Now we don't have any teachers.
Yeah.
And so now the teachers that we do have huge classes, and they can't have any one-on-one, and so now students are doing worse. So
that's why I'm hoping, we say it all the time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it's certainly broke, so we need to fix it. So whatever we're doing right now, we need to change. And that's why I'm hoping with new authority, they're going to do some things differently. And I don't know if it's 100% true, but Trump, was saying that he was going to eliminate the Board of Education, which the Board of Education is freaking useless. Obviously, our education system sucks as it is. Like I said, let's change it. So, and on that note,
What?
I have to pee,
Okay.
but covered that. Oh, okay. I have something. This is a hill I'm willing to kill on.
I've never heard someone say that before. I'm so scared.
My entire personality is made up of things I've seen on the internet. That is not an original. I saw that and I loved it. I'm adopting it. This is a hill I'm willing to kill on. People need to get Gonk and Gnome figured out.
Yes.
Gnomes, not a huge fan of gnomes in general, like the garden gnomes, the lawn ornament
Romeo
gnomes
and
and stuff.
Juliet.
Yeah, no, not a huge fan. Gonks, however, all for. I'm obsessed with them. I love them. I'm going to start a new collection. I'm going to learn how to crochet them. I'm going to sell them. I love gonks.
Would you like to define gonk for
Yes,
the,
I would.
the people?
Absolutely. Because nowadays, it's gonks. It's gonks that are very popular. I see
Yes.
gonks everywhere.
Yes.
But people keep mislabeling them and calling them gnomes. They are within the gnome realm, but they
Sure.
are different. Okay?
They're a cousin.
Yeah. So gonks and gnomes are both small, beard. This is the AI overview on Google, folks. It's not,
So take
It's
this
not-
as absolute fact.
Yeah, absolutely. Do your own research, but whatever. Gonks and gnomes are both small, bearded creatures from Scandinavia folklore, but they have some differences, okay? Let's really focus in on this. The origin of gnomes. This is so important to me, folks. This is so important. Gnomes are from Germany and date back to the 1800s, while gonks are from Scandinavia and date back to around the 1600s.
Wow.
The difference mainly is gnomes were traditionally made from clay, but plastic became more common in the 1960s, and so that's what a lot of lawn ornaments and everything. Not a huge fan of those. I don't like ceramic. I don't like the plastic. I like the fabric ones, which while gonks are more commonly made from wool, fabric, and felt. Okay, so those are like you're gonna be more your little stuffed animals and
Stuffy,
everything
yeah.
that's going on. Now, the biggest the differences that you can most easily distinguish between them also are the features that they have. Nowadays you see everybody calling them gnomes. They're gonks. Gonks have more hidden facial features with only a bulbous nose visible under a stocking cap. That's what's really
No
popular
eyeballs.
nowadays. No eyeballs,
They
no
have no
face other
eyes.
than a nose. And that's what's really common nowadays. But everyone, it's a gnome, it's a gnome, it's a gonk. Okay, gonk is such a better word. Let's respect it, okay? So
Okay.
gnomes, you're going to be able to like see more of the cherubic little smiley face and everything. You're going to see their eyes and their cheeks and their, no, that's a gnome. That's absolutely a gnome. And you're going to see them hanging out in lawns and everything. I don't like them. Respect the gonk.
I love the nose.
I love it. Respect the gonk. And it's just a fantastic word. I don't know why anybody would want gonk. Gonk. Gonk.
Get that at the same time.
Gonk.
Gonk.
I love them. I absolutely love them. So please,
Yeah, every time that someone points out a gonk that they think is a gnome, I educate them. Every time.
Thank you. I really
So it's
appreciate
actually
that.
gonk. When you can't see the eyes, it's called a gonk.
It's gonk. And that's something that's been really bothering me. And I plan on I want to learn how to crochet them. Because I want to collect them. But
I
it's like
always see stuff on TikTok that I want to crochet. I don't know how to crochet.
my problem is if it requires math. I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to count my stitches.
Oh, yeah, when you have to count the row. And it's like 1 down over magic loop 6.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. That's
Sounds
why
exhausting.
That's why I crochet dish rags.
Yeah.
Because I just go until I'm like, oh, that's a good length. Then I just turn around and do it again. Yeah, that's good. I'm done. I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, please respect the gonk. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. I'm going to start collecting them. But the other problem is I'm very particular about like the heft, the texture, the cuteness.
Should get some beans
She gets some beans.
to fill it up with.
Yeah. Something or other. Beans at the bottom, felt at the top to make it squishy but like weighted kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a soft material and whatever. The color pattern and everything, the beard texture, the bulbous nose has to be the right bulbousy. I don't know.
Bulbousy.
The bulbousy. I don't know how to. Yeah. It has to be bulby. I don't know.
Bulby.
Bulby. But respect
Alright.
the gonk. Yeah.
Hashtag respect the gonk.
Respect the gonk. It's Girls Gone Gonk. We are Girls Gone Gonk.
That's the name of this episode for sure.
What else do I have here? Yeah, so I need to learn to crochet. I love them. That's another thing. This episode is gonna be so long. Oh my god,
I want to learn how to crochet.
it's so easy.
Uh,
Well, actually, I lied. The one stitch I know how to do back and forth to make a dish rag is very easy. Anything else, couldn't tell you.
when people do the math, it looks so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to think that much.
Right.
I like my hobbies to be mind-numbingly dumb. You know? What was I gonna say? Oh,
I saw,
my
sorry.
obsessions. What?
Go ahead.
No, I talk enough. What'd you say?
I saw a lady crochet like some chicks, and she had like a skein of yarn that was like white, and it transitioned to like a brown maybe, and so she just made a bunch of chicks, and they were just like white, tan, brown, darker, like they
Oh
were
my God.
like different colors. They
I
were
love it.
so cute.
I love it. I love it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just like my obsessions come in waves, and so
Yeah.
now I'm on my gonk wave, I guess. I don't know. The other thing that I'm totally obsessed with is the fact that all my classical music. We got another one, folks. Shout out to the song "Experience" by Ludovico Einaudi. Einaudi. I don't know if I said that right. Apologies if I didn't. Butchered that probably. But it will make me cry, and I'm pretty sure they use it as like fantasy fan art edits on TikTok. They'll use that music for it,
Oh,
and it
maybe
gets
I've
me every
heard it
time.
before.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
If we go get lunch, I'll show it to you.
Okay.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And then, speaking of beautiful, so beautiful. If I had a nickel for every time I got told that I looked like I belonged in a Hallmark movie, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
What?
I specifically told my coworker and a girl at Burger King, because I'm obsessed with Burger King.
Burger King.
Both said specifically that I look like I should be in a Hallmark movie.
Really?
I should be in Hallmark movies.
And that's true.
It's because I look like Candace Cameron.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, I guess so. Just look like
Good
Candace
for
Cameron and you're good to
you.
go.
Good for you.
But it was just funny because I'm like, how specific of a... Is it a compliment, I guess?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How specific
But
of
it
a
is
compliment that it's specifically Hallmark movies?
Weird.
I guess I don't look like I could be a legitimate actor, but a cheesy rom-com one, absolutely.
Those are better anyway.
Ugh. I hate Hallmark, dude. I hate Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
But maybe then I can act in them and then I don't have to worry about watching them. Or other people watching them because nobody watches Hallmark. Other than, like, old little
Exactly.
grannies. Yep. So Hallmark, hit me up. I'm all for it. After I just got done saying I hated you, but I love you.
I bet Hallmark stars don't love Hallmark.
Did you? I got my coworker told me this. I don't know if it's true. What all the details are, I don't know. Fact check me. But apparently, 2 Hallmark stars have gotten on in years and are not getting the roles they wanted anymore, and they're trying to be like the company is trying to replace them and everything. So they're suing them for ageism. And I'm like,
That's not that.
that's not. Yeah, it's just like you are no longer the ideal age of these shows that we want to be making. It's time
But
happens,
it's not even
dude.
that. It's not even that it's about them. It's about they want actors that are
The appropriate age for the
appropriate
story
age
they're
for
trying to
the-
tell.
for the character.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. So I
How-
don't know all the details or anything, but we'll see how that goes.
How was the Nutcracker?
It was good. It was beautiful.
Good.
Yeah. I think it was an abridged version. I don't think it was the whole thing.
Hmm.
But no, it was very impressive. There was one part where everyone was kind of going wild because of the acrobats. It was quite impressive. But no, it was nice. Good. Yeah. I think I would have liked it better if it was snowing outside and like more Christmassy. I mean, November 10th, quite a ways away from Christmas, so I wasn't
Oh,
quite in the
yeah.
Christmassy spirit for it, so I don't think it settled in enough. But it was nice. It was a good way to spend the Sunday.
I always get into the Christmas spirit early.
Usually I do because the first snowfall that sticks is kind of my
Yeah.
introduction to the Christmas season. Usually around here, that's pretty early on. That's sometime in October usually.
It was 70 degrees last week.
It was 80 degrees the week before.
I
So, yeah, little
heard
need
it
I
was
say.
snowing in Nedro this morning, though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Not here. Nope.
No.
It's actually colder today. It's about 30, 35 or something right now.
I
But
hate when
yesterday
it's
was still
cold when
warm.
there's not snow. Good one.
That came from the depths, dude. Holy cow. Dear Lord. I felt that all the way down here. No, so yeah, my Christmas season starts the first snowfall, and I guess we're not gonna have that anytime soon.
Ever.
Yeah.
It didn't snow a lot last year.
No, it didn't. I finally just had to cave because I don't start listening to Christmas music until that snowfall. But then it got like well into December before it like actually happened, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna actually have to just cave and just start playing my Christmas music, even though it's not Christmassy yet.
Well, we're all Christmased out at Ace, so
Yeah.
you can't put a Christmas hat on the Ace logo. There's another rule. Call back.
I'm gonna put my Christmas little hat on. Reginald, a client of mine, made all these like little festive holiday hats.
You could crochet them clothes.
That's again too much work.
Okay.
I don't do work outside of
You
work.
work today, yeah.
Wowzers, I gotta pee.
All right.
I think it's time. Wait, no.
What?
I think I got. Okay, I covered the Hallmark Experience by Ludovico Einaudi. Gonk First Gnome. Hate solid colored sprayed edges. I also have. I think I have a mild case. I think I have a mild case of megalophobia.
What's that?
When you have a irrational fear of really large objects, but only like man-made. Yeah, I was watching a video of that, and I was very, very uncomfortable. Like man-made objects should not be that big. Give me a mountain or something, all for it. Give me a big boat, I hate it. I hate everything about it.
I don't think I have that.
I think I have a little.
What's the fear of circus tents? Oh my god, I hate them. And you know what? I saw a TikTok recently of like a slime video, and they just had a big, like a vat of slime that they were poking their hands into, but it was white. And when they stuck their fingers in, it looked like a circus tent, and it freaked me right out, and I hated it. Is there a fear of circus tents? Have I talked about this on here before?
Oh, you have.
I hate circus tents, especially if they're white. I hate them.
What? Nope.
Freaked me right out.
The fear of large volumes of fabric, such as huge curtains, a circus tent, or a hot air balloon, doesn't have a specific term.
No!
Does not have a specific term. You are unique.
It's not. Well, it is the fabric because the way it bends, I don't like it.
Somebody gets panicked when they hear the sound of wind chimes.
That's weird. I feel nostalgic.
Phonophobic. So fear of certain sounds. Phonophobic.
Interesting.
I don't know. Huh. Don't know. Very odd thing to. Well, any kind of irrational fear is odd, so that's why it's irrational.
So you just have it with big stuff? Big man-made stuff?
Yeah.
How do you think you would feel about like the Sphinx? It's not that big though. It's pretty big.
I feel like I think I might be uncomfortable, but because of the material, it's like stone. It's more natural, but like a boat, the metal and it's just no. Okay. I don't like it. Like I went on a cruise one time. Those are big boats. It was a little uncomfortable. I was like, it doesn't need to be that big.
What was your cruise?
Oh, I don't know. It was like my sophomore year of high school or something. Junior year of high school.
Like multiple days?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, we went to the Bahamas.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I went on a cruise when I was a kid, but it was just like a dinner cruise.
Yeah, no, our school, the music program and everything, depending on the year, it switched between a Nashville trip, New York City, Disney, or a cruise.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty legit.
Ohio is where it's at. Never would have guessed.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I did not get to go to, because I was only in the music program my junior and senior year, so it wasn't sophomore year. But junior and senior year, I went to the Bahamas and Disney. So.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't get to go to Nashville or New York City, which is fine because I've been to both of them now on my own, which is better than a school trip. Obviously. Wait. Yeah.
I haven't been on many school trips. I didn't used to go when I was in high school. I would just stay home.
Loser.
Yeah.
We went on a lot of trips. Kennywood was a 6th grade trip. We went to Roscoe's Village. Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of trips. Did you have Student of the Month in elementary school? I got chosen for Student of the Month one time. It was the best experience of my life. I felt like...
Because you had a cool purse. Oh, no, that was middle school.
I never had a cool purse because the timing of it was all off. It was never cool.
No, I was never... We didn't have that.
You know what's terrible? I think I talked about it before, though. We've got to end this episode. It's so freaking long.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what? I think we talked about it before. The only time that I ever made any kind of splash, that I was ever whatever for even a single minute, it was because I was being a bully. It's because I was unintentionally...
She's so freaking bouncy?
No, not that. It was when we had like a spirit week and it was 80s themed. And I saw, it was on Twitter when I still had Twitter. And it was a picture of, what college girls think people dress like in the 80s. And it's in your warm-up gear and the teased hair all off in the ponytail on the side, bright blush and everything, all the neon socks and sock warmers. Versus what they were dressed like in the 80s. And it showed a picture of the Breakfast Club. And it was during that spirit week and I just posted that on my Twitter. And it blew up. It got all around school because there was like the popular group of girls were all wearing like their neon leg warmers. And it got back to me that one of the girls was kind of hurt by that. And I was like, I didn't mean to.
That's so dumb.
So yeah, my one shining moment was me being a jerk, an unintentional jerk.
That's not being mean. It's true.
But they were hurt by it.
What? They shouldn't have been. That's on them.
But I was mean.
It's not mean.
I
don't think it's mean.
I feel like I was mean. It made me feel icky.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think that you were targeting them. Unless you were.
Well, I mean, I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, some of the girls are dressed like that. And
I thought it was funny, probably. Well, I would have been dressing up anyway.
All that to say that I was a bully and a loser, and I'm sorry.
You were a little bit of a bully. She's so freaking bouncy.
She's so freaking bouncy. Anna, you're a sweetheart. I love you. Shout out to Anna. She's such a great girl.
I've never bullied anybody, bro. I did blow up on Yik Yak last semester. I still got the top post of all time. 1.1K likes on that Johnson.
There we go. Ending the episode
on a high. I checked last night. I like to check periodically if I'm still the top. Yep.
Nice.
And nobody knows.
We'll end this episode then on that high right there. Good job, Mary Grace.
No, let's end it on a low.
No. We usually end it on a low. So let's switch things up a little bit. Mary Grace is still top tier.
And Danielle's a bully. Goodbye.
Fair. That's fair. Talk at you next time.
Bye.